Cheat Code, Support Strategist, by myheadinthecoudsnotcomingdown. Read by Rat Overlord. Chapter 26, Projection. Summary. Shinso's quirk is just so fun to think about. Hitoshi restlessly curled his toes inside his shoes as he tried not to move his head.
Are you guys actually sure that this is safe?
Of course it is, Extra Credit-kun! He couldn't see Hatsume, and it was honestly kind of freaking him out. He knew his kidnappers wouldn't hurt him on purpose. On accident, though, was an entirely different thing. And wasn't that a comforting thought to have while strapped into a brain scanner?
Don't worry, dearie.
Recovery Girl's voice came from the same general area as Hatsume's.
My machines actually work without blowing up. Hey, it's part of my creative process. I'll accept that when your classmates stop coming to me with burns. Most of them give those burns to themselves.
Hatsume insisted sullenly.
Their inventions blow up all the time, too. Not as much as yours, dearie.
None of this was actually comforting. Recovery Girl may be kind and grandmotherly, but she was honestly just as intimidating as Hatsume and Midoriya were in their own way. She'd taken one look at the bags under Hitoshi's eyes and immediately threatened to physically knock him out if he didn't take better care of himself, all while muttering something about,
almost worse than Aizawa,
under her breath. It was scary. Don't pay any attention to them. Midoriya at least could understand his predicament, considering that he was lying in a machine right next to him. It's gonna be fine. Recovery Girl, are you ready to go?
Yes, dearie, let me just...
There was a concerning pause.
And there, you may begin.
All right, Shinso, ask me a question.
Why are you like this?
Hitoshi deadpanned.
Like what?
Midoriya's voice sounded genuinely confused before Hitoshi took control of him and mentally ran through the commands that they discussed beforehand.
All right, blink twice.
He couldn't see Midoriya obeying the command, but he must have because Hatsume made a very interested noise.
Ooh! Which is which? This one is Shinso's, and this one here is Midoriya's.
Recovery Girl responded.
This is fascinating.
Am I good to keep going?
Hitoshi asked.
Yes!
Hatsume yelled.
Do it!
Okay.
Hitoshi said hesitantly.
What's your name?
Midoriya stayed silent.
Next!
Hatsume ordered. Hitoshi rolled his eyes. He didn't know why both of these questions had been on the list, considering that they were the same question.
Tell me your name. Isuku Midoriya.
Hitoshi startled, sitting up and staring at Midoriya in shock, half expecting him to have somehow broken free of his control. But no, Midoriya's eyes were still glazed over and empty.
Blink twice,
Hitoshi ordered. Midoriya blinked.
What the fuck?
Hitoshi whispered.
I can't control upper brain functions. He shouldn't be able to answer that. I didn't tell him to say Isuku Midoriya, so he should have stayed silent.
You ruined it!
Mei complained as she went and pinched Midoriya's arm.
You weren't supposed to move!
Hitoshi was too shocked to respond, but Midoriya couldn't shut up as soon as he had control over his mouth again.
I was right! Recovery Girl! Did you get any pictures from the last question?
Of course I did, dearie.
Recovery Girl sighed and looked sternly at Hitoshi.
Though we're lucky that you didn't move before those were processed. What if they'd blurred? That's what happens when you move during brain scans.
Hitoshi was still trying to process everything as Midoriya went back to look at the scans, and he may as well have been the one brainwashed, judging by how numbly he obeyed when Midoriya waved him over to come look as well.
All right, so here's the pictures from our conversation before you activated the quirk.
Midoriya pointed to the screens.
When you're talking, your brain lights up like this, and when I was talking, my brain lit up like this.
Midoriya nodded to Recovery Girl, who pulled up another set of brain pictures.
Now, these are the ones from the last experiment. In these two, you're giving the order, but in these, I'm responding. What do you see?
Hitoshi looked at the pictures and frowned.
You saw that these two are when you were responding?
Midoriya nodded.
And this is my brain.
Hitoshi pointed at the screen as he talked.
And this one's yours?
Yup!
Midoriya smiled knowingly.
But why is my brain lit up when you're talking?
Hitoshi was so confused.
Are you sure you're not getting them mixed up? Shouldn't your brain be the one lighting up like it did before when we were talking before?
Exactly! Midoriya grinned. I think the reason why it takes so much effort to maintain your quirk's connection without taking control is because your brain is actually connecting to their body. Rather than simply brainwashing, it's almost as though you literally put yourself in the driver's seat, almost like a projection of your own consciousness, so to speak. I wonder if you could learn to see through their... No, not right now. We can explore that later. The big thing is that even though you didn't tell me exactly what to say, I was still able to respond because you know my name. Hitoshi's mind was whirling.
But that still means that my quirk is useless for information gathering. They can only tell me things that I already know.
For now, yes, Midoriya said. But we've already been practicing having a partial connection when you wait to activate your quirk. So now we just need to see if you can give the partial control back to the person that you're brainwashing. You'll still be in control of their mouth, but they'll be able to access their own memories.
In which case, both brains will light up,
Hatsume added.
I wonder if there's a baby that can make this easier.
I am not having any of your babies near my brain, Hitoshi said quickly. No, not happening.
Oh, you're no fun,
Hatsume pouted.
But you're going to need a lot of practice.
Hitoshi nodded in determination. He never thought being a hero was going to take anything less.
So, I hear that you've taken an interest in my problem child,
Hisashi said over dinner, looking like he wanted nothing more than to have a wide smile as he said it.
He's not a problem child,
Shota said stubbornly, glaring at his husband.
And if he was, he'd be Majima's, not yours.
Just because the two students that keep kidnapping him are support course students doesn't erase the fact that he's in my homeroom.
Hisashi paused and grinned at him.
For now.
Shinso has to prove himself at the sports festival before he can join my class,
Shota said.
If he keeps up with the determination I saw the other day, he might have a chance. But only if he doesn't think his quirk is an ace in the hole. My students aren't stupid. They'll figure out his quirk sooner rather than later, so relying on that alone won't be good enough.
Oh, don't be such a spoil-sport, Sho!
Hisashi threw a pea at Shota, which he quickly dodged.
Give the kid a chance. Maybe he'll surprise you. He does have two of the top support students this year on his side.
Shota sighed.
That's what I'm worried about. Shinso may not be a problem child, but those two definitely are. What kind of first year helps with a villain attack and makes themselves a target that doesn't have to be?
A mini Netsu?
Hisashi suggested, helpfully. Shota snorted.
No, he's still nicer than the rat.
I'm glad you like them.
Hisashi smiled.
It's been a while since you've actually taken a liking to a student.
My job is to keep them alive,
Shota pointed out.
Not to like them.
Still, I'm glad you're starting to take Shinso under your wing,
Hisashi said, turning back to his food.
I'm not taking.
You are.
Hisashi cut him off.
And it's not a bad thing, Sho. You know that, right?
He has potential.
Shota tried to defend himself, but his husband knew better than that and simply gave him a mischievous smile. Oh no, he didn't like where that was going.
You know, I know that you said that our students keep us busy enough that we don't need kids of our own, but...
Hisashi said suggestively.
We're not adopting Shinso,
Shota said firmly.
Even if we had time to adopt the child, which we don't, Shinso has parents of his own.
Actually, he doesn't.
That made Shota do a double take.
What?
I said he doesn't have parents of his own.
Hisashi frowned.
I didn't ask the details, but his file says that he's currently in a foster home, so if you wanted to...
We're not adopting him,
Shota insisted.
He's probably very happy where he is, and there's absolutely no reason to uproot him from a good situation to move him in with two of his teachers, which would be weird enough. But then those two teachers would also have to work 2 jobs each. 3 in your case.
Aw, Sho!
Hisashi whined playfully.
You do care about him!
Shota glared at him.
Never mind. Shinso has been officially upgraded to a problem child, and it's entirely your fault.
Aw, don't be like that!
Hisashi laughed.
I mean, we could be a very happy...
Still not adopting him.